Hello again, Andy with Handy Andy Handyman, Handy Andy on Demand, and we're out today in Marietta looking at another one of these cedar houses that I love so much. And some of what you're going to see on this house is a little unusual, and you'll get an idea how contractors work. And so if you look at their gutter system up here, see that little plastic kind of lip up there? That's a gutter helmet. And people put these systems up, and yeah, they'll help with keeping the leaves out of the gutters, but you got to clean that edge every year. And probably every couple of years you need to lift those filters off, the gutter helmets off, I mean, and then have somebody like us clean the gutters through thoroughly and then clean the downspouts out. And what's happened on this one is this bottom of the downspout was crushed from garbage cans or bikes or whatever they did over the years. And so for as long as this homeowner's had this house, all the water's been dropping in this corner, so much so that it splashed against this cedar door right here. That's actually 2-inch tongue and groove cedar. I mean, it's really resilient. So much water's come in there that it's just rotted out. So we'll build them a new door there. And then you can kind of see where someone came in and they had some rot in this siding up here, probably right before these guys bought it 5 or 6 years ago. And so their solution was to cut that bottom edge of the siding because they wanted to save some money and not piece in the siding all the way across, which we might have done that too. But they didn't butter that bottom edge of siding, so where the siding hits the new flashing, it started to rot out. It's okay for now because they're going to paint this house in the next year or so anyway, so we'll just catch it then. You can see the difference here. That's the original flashing. This is the original flashing of that bottom piece. And then we talk about this all the time. If you're going to have metal flashing, you can see this little lip right here. That's the flashing coming across. It should be cut in 3/4 inch to 1.5 inches past the outside edge of that framing and casing on the garage door, and it wasn't. And so when you get over here, there's so much water over here, you'll almost never see this, but if you look around your house and you see little pinholes like that, see these little holes right here, right in here? It's actually termites. So termites have eaten this 4x6 post. I can post my hand through it. And when you look back on the edge right here, the telltale signs for it is when you peel it back, see the dirt in there and the debris? That's what termites bring with them. Camera's having a hard time focusing because it's trying to focus on my hand. But they got so much water down this side that termites actually got between the layer of paint. So this is something else we talk about. This is a cedar-sided house. It should have been stained. Stained absorbs into the surface. Paint sits on top. And so what's happened here is the paint literally sits on top. And so we'll have to repaint the house or whoever they hire to do it. But see, as I'm pushing my fingers in, this board right here all the way through is rotted through. And you can actually see the dirt. See the dirt right here and the termite trails? All the way up through. Just that one board, it appears. So it's a hard repair to make because the guys, to do this right, they're going to have to... This siding is blind nail, so you're gonna have to push it up, cut the nails out from behind with a skill saw, and slide this piece out. We hate doing those kind of repairs because they're hard to do. And then over here at this window, you can see the bottom edge of the siding right here is rotted all the way through. The same thing. It's been repaired before. See that horizontal cut right here? Instead of replacing the whole piece. So we'll replace the whole piece now. And the water's gotten so much into this corner, we'll have to repair this 2x6 frame at the window. And those are difficult repairs to make. Not everybody can make those repairs. On the front side of the house, we'll kind of walk around. Here's a little puppy dog coming to visit. Hi, boo boo. And so when you see the left corner of the house right here, actually this front second story window, the bottom molding, the bottom trim right here is a 1x4 cedar that needs to be replaced. And then this left corner of the house right here, we had a similar issue where the guys would probably just go ahead and replace a section of this piece here. When we get to the left side of the house, you're not gonna be able to see it so well in the video from here, but someone has replaced some of that with Nichihana siding and starting to delaminate again. Wherever a gutter hits the side of the house, you've got to have kick-out flashing there, and they've got 17 rows you'll see when we come around that need to be partially replaced. Just because without the kick-out flashing, the water runs between the back edge of the gutter and the siding, and it just rot everything out. And what's hard with cedar houses is, up until a few years ago in Atlanta, we had 5 years of drought. So this got super dried out. And now the last 2-3 years, we've had a ton of rain. You can see this left side door. We'll go ahead and replace that top molding, flash it properly, repair the frame on the left and right sides. And to save a little money, we'll reskin this door with Luan. And that'll fix that. On the right side corner, you got a little bit of rot at this hole right here in the siding. And then the woodpecker's been getting into this corner board on the side. So we'll replace all of that corner board there. When you come around to the rear bay, The left rear bay window, you're not going to see it so well in the video, but this right side corner right here and the left side corner of that window have rotted out. He's getting a lot of water into this window here. They had somebody come out a few years ago and he put the wrong flashing in. We see this a lot. See that galvanized metal flashing? That's new. That's this little strip right here. And so that's underneath the replacement boards that someone replaced on that deck. But the new pressure treated wood will actually eat through galvanized flashing in a very short period of time. So it's not recommended for use. And now he's getting so much rain in this corner. And part of it, the cool thing about our business is when someone points it out, it just makes sense to you. And so when you look at these gutters, he's got a gutter helmet up here. There's no kick out flashing on either side of that gutter. And so every time it rains, water's coming over the top and down the side. And you can see where it catches this corner. So he's got 3 or 4 rotted pieces of siding in this corner right here. And you can see how much splashing has totally shot out this bottom piece of trim right here in this window. And so we'll add a flashing plate through here, and you'll have to see that in one of our other videos. But when we install a flashing plate, it's inset into the siding, and so when water comes down, it kicks it out to the first break in the decking and keeps the water from the house. Here the water's actually getting into the house. And so when you look at this siding back here, it doesn't look so bad. One of the problems he has on the trim on the house is you see the gap between the corner board and the siding? This actually should have been cut. The siding should have been cut back for the trim to sit flush in and sealed. So the whole house was done that way. We're not going to fix it all over the house, but we're going to head and fix it on the chimney because we've got siding to replace here anyway. So he's got about 13 or 14 rows. It doesn't look bad. Like, see this row right here? But watch what happens. See my hand go in? See the wood depress? It's rotted all the way through, and they had a handyman come out and caulk over this. Well, I can sponge the water out, and so many of these handymen just don't know what they're doing. So they got a bent piece of flashing up in this corner that addresses the roof, but not the gutter. Same thing on the left side here. So most of the siding here on the left side of the door is good. The right side of the door, I think we've got 10 or 11 rows right here that need to be replaced. We're gonna pull and replace this top row over the door so that we can flash it properly. You can see what the handyman did. They cut the flashing short and then they just caulked it. Well, that's failed. And now the water's getting in behind the door as well. Over the left side of this bay, right side of the bay, I mean right here, this top piece that runs across, we'll butter the bottom edge and replace that piece. It's just rotted. In this corner back here, there's not a lot we can do with this. We'll place this corner board on the face, but we can't get into this one without pulling this whole bench apart. It's rotted through, but I can't do anything about it right now. And then when you come over the windowsill, you can see this sill wasn't beveled, and then the inside frame on the window itself is rotted too. See all that in there? And really the problem with cedar houses, cedar is so resilient, it'll hold up for 25 or 30 years before it starts rotting. They never caulk these houses at all. And so when you look at this window up here, that's really what brought us out here. The customer had a roofer out. All that framing around that window is rotted. And so we replaced that all with custom 2x6 pressure treated. And then you got a little piece of trim off this gable back here. The squirrels ate that up. Overall, it's a great house. It just takes some time to get caught back up on it and take care of all this little stuff. Mostly the house is in great shape. Overall, it's really in good shape. Wasn't a lot to do on the back right side. And then when we come up on the far right side of the house, we'll show you that damage past the chimney, and that'll at least get them going. And then they want to come back and paint or stain this house. We can't stain it anymore because it's been painted. There's no way to really spend the money and strip all that off. So we'll have to paint over this stuff. So you can see when you look at this chimney up here, streaking like this is just a telltale sign that you need kick out flashing, and the water's getting between the gutter and just coming down the sides right here. The guys will check it on the ladder. It doesn't look too bad from here. When you come back around the right side past this chimney, you'll see how rotted this is. This is the woodpecker's already found it because there's insects in it. So they actually tried to caulk it. You can see if you follow the step joints, someone tried to repair some of this at some point in time, but there's 17 rows in this side that need to be spotted in. And so my guys will replace that full piece, so they'll come in like through here and go to the joints and stagger. Where there aren't joints, we'll stagger and create some. So there's about 90 feet of siding on this side that needs to be replaced. And then they'll clean the gutters and go from there. You can kind of see the difference here if you look at the thickness of the siding. This is Nichihana siding right here. It's like it's a Hardy Plank knockoff. You can actually see the inside corner right here where they made a horizontal cut, it rotted right there. So we caught quite a bit of it just walking the house. When the guys are out here to do the work, my brother and the crews will find some more stuff, I'm sure. And that's Andrew Jr. running around out there. He's out doing some bids with us today. My brother and I have been doing this stuff for 25 years in Atlanta. We've got a crew of 30. We do everything except air conditioning and swimming pools. So be patient with us. We run all over the place. We're happy to turn your house into a home, but some of this stuff, like a house like this, it's just deferred maintenance. When the guys are out too, we left this off, but when you look way up on that line up there, they had some roofers come out and reflash this, and they did a great job. They just didn't seal the bottom edge of the flashing, and they didn't paint that fascia board up there. There's 2 places that will catch that. Anyway, I'm at 770-912-2829. I'm Andy with Handy Andy. See you at the next house. Bye for now.